The monsters that live close to you. Hello, Leo Augusto React. My name is Julia. I'm 12 years old. The story happened a long time ago. My mom, my stepdad, and I were having dinner. The kitchen door was always open, and my mom's dogs, whose names were Nugget and Niga, always lay by the door. At night, looking out at the backyard, everything was fine until the backyard always creeped me out. There were 2 trees there that were already very old, and it always felt like someone was there watching us. That night, I finished eating my dinner. My mom was washing the dishes. It seemed like a normal night. Then, Nugget started barking a lot, but he was barking in my direction. He was looking up and moving his head as if there was something invisible floating there. We were all surprised because he wouldn't stop barking at whatever was there, near me, right? My mom said, "Julia, go over there. Get close to him to see if he stops barking." I answered and went the same way, right? I got close to the dog, but he didn't look at me. He kept barking at the same spot. A few seconds later, he stopped. It seemed like the thing had disappeared. Then I brushed my teeth and went to bed. Before going to sleep, my mom started hearing voices, and the worst part was, the voices were coming from my room. She thought I might be talking to someone, like a spirit or something like that. She stopped and started listening, and I come across my mom pointing a flashlight at my face. She stared at me and asked who I was talking to. I said I wasn't talking to anyone. Then she closed the door. My stepfather went to take a shower. He heard a loud bang on the bathroom door, like something heavy. He asked my mom. She hadn't even been there. Everything was already closed, and I was in my room. That night, my mom could barely sleep, and I spent a long time thinking about what that could have been. Was it a ghost that came into our house? Hello, Leo Augusto React. I'm Anna Julia, and I want to share a story from when I was 10. I was sitting on the sidewalk with some friends. We were talking about a weird house that was in the area. They say that in 1991, an old lady died in that house in a mysterious way. Then, a crazy friend of mine said, "Hey, who wants to go to that house?" At first, I didn't agree, right? I stayed quiet, but since everyone was going, I ended up going too, right? I'll be there alone doing nothing, while everyone else has a partner. I was going to go with Samuel, and my friend Gabby was going to go with Lucas. We jumped over the wall and went toward the abandoned house. Samuel and I went inside, while Gabby and Lucas went to the backyard. The house had a heavy energy. It was very strange, and there were terrifying things inside. Then I saw the photo of the lady, and she looked sad. I kept looking at the portrait until I saw something behind her. It was a strange shadow. It looked like a tall creature with horns. When he arrived, the thing just disappeared from the background. We heard a scream from Gabby and Lucas outside. We saw the lady together with the creature in her rocking chair on the porch. The old lady was smiling, looking like a psychopath, and so was the creature. When I look at Lucas and Gabby, they were running already, man, calling us to get out of there. Run, you idiots! We ran after them and managed to catch up. When I looked back, the creature was running after us, with the old lady on its shoulder. Come back here, my guests. We started screaming and crying. The backyard of the house seemed endless. It was very big. It was full of tall grass. It was hard to get out of there. Finally, we reached the end of the house, jumped over the wall, and ran to the other sidewalk. I was all scraped up, my clothes were full of burrs, and I was exhausted. My mom called me to come inside, and then I told her that I had gone to the abandoned house where that old lady used to live. She scolded me, told me never to go near that place, that she had known that old lady for decades, but she was being disturbed by a very bizarre spirit and ended up dying in a mysterious way. She thinks it was that evil creature, right? Since then, that house has been up for auction, man, but nobody buys it. Hi, I'm Miguel, 12 from Portugal. Hello, Leo Augusto React. At the time this happened, I was about 10 years old or so. At my school, there was a place where my friends and I would hang out together, talking. There in that courtyard, there was a door that was usually closed and led to an unknown area. Until one day, to our surprise, it was open. Seeing that, we went over to take a look, and when we passed through, it led to a garden with vegetable crops and fruit trees. And there was an abandoned house at the end of that land. On the wall, it was written Aina. Since we had fertile imaginations, we made up a legend about this Aina. That someone died there in that place, and that this spirit still wandered around to take care of those plants and so on. One day during recess, we took 2 curious people to see it. So as soon as we passed through the gate, the plantation was all dried up. The trees no longer had any fruit. Everything was strange, man, but we kept going anyway. We went into the abandoned house, and to our surprise, there was a light on. It seemed to be coming from the basement. But could someone have gone in there and turned on the light? We quietly went to check if anyone was still there, right? I don't know. Let's go. The light disappeared, man. It's strange, there wasn't any little window or lamp on the ceiling, man. How did that happen? The air started to get heavy, my friend, and fear came over us. After about 2 minutes, we heard the door closing upstairs. We ran to get out of there. But when I grabbed the door and pulled, it was stuck. It wouldn't open at all. The basement light turned on again. At that moment, we all gathered our strength, managed to open the door, and ran out. From a distance, I looked through the window and saw the shadow of a woman with long hair. But I couldn't see her face, and then she disappeared. After that day, the door that led to that place was locked, and we were never able to go back there again. Probably the person who left it open closed it, right? Could it have been an employee there from the school or something else? Hello, Leo Augusto React. My name is João Paulo, and I'm 11 years old. I wanted to tell a story that happened to me when I was 8. It was my dad's birthday, and we were at home having a barbecue with the family. We were sitting at the tables there in the garage of the house. And then I saw through the gate a couple dressed as clowns, accompanied by a really big dog. I didn't know what breed it was, and it had a scratch on its left eye, so I kept looking, right? What is this clown couple doing there in front of my house gate? Then they started laughing, staring at me. They were scary and kept staring, making strange movements. And then I started to panic and tried to warn my grandma who was next to me, but for some reason I couldn't say anything. My grandma saw my superhuman effort to try to say a word. She asked me what was wrong, but I couldn't answer her. Then something unexpected happened. The couple outside started banging on the gate, man, punching and kicking it. Everyone immediately looked over there and noticed what was happening. I started to feel nauseous and my vision went dark. Soon after, I wake up, almost throwing up from all the adrenaline. It was just another dream, one of the many nightmares about clowns I used to have when I was a kid. Good thing it was just a nightmare, right? Bro, I just released episode 2 of Cartoon Cat vs. Siren Head. That fight is still going on, my friends. And we have many other titles at the Leo Augusto React store over on WhatsApp. Add that number, bro, and I'll send you the available list of all the Leo Augusto React comics. All right. Merry Christmas to you all, and a Happy New Year. We're in this together.